So in last video, I had created a sign up API for the user, or you can say admin. In this video, I'm going to create a login API for the user. So if I quickly move to database, there you can see we able to see the detail of user. Also, our password has been encrypted. As in last video, I used bcrypt. Also, if I move to the postman, let's save this in in our collection. So for this I'm going to give the name of a register user and select your collection. I'm going to select local subscription and save this. Now let's work with the login. So for this I need to create a file. So I'm going to create a file called auth.js. Inside it I need to use express for create the route. So for this I'm going to use const and express should be equal to require express. From this I need to create API routes, and I need further dependencies as well. So I'm going to use check and validation result from express validator. As you see, I had used the same thing in the previous video, the parameter I got in my body of request. So I just need to validate whether they having the correct value or not. So I can simply use express validator and simply check the request accordingly. Also I need JWT, when you use your login I need to provide him JSON web token so that he can request for the auth API, or you can say private API. Also I need a config. As in previous video I use config for JWT secret. So I'm going to do same thing in this video as well. Also I need const bcrypt.js, bcrypt from bcrypt.js. As in previous video I used bcrypt for encrypt my password. In this video I'm going to use bcrypt for match the password. Also I need user from the user model. So let's give the path of model / user. Okay, next thing I'm going to create the route. So const router is equal to express, it should be express.router. Okay, fine. Now I had all necessary thing I'm going to use for this module. Let's put a command for login user. So this should be a post request. So I'm going to use router dot post, and first of all I need to provide endpoint. Second thing, you need to pass any middleware, or you can if you haven't any middleware you can use your method for request response handle. So here I'm going to use middleware. First of all I need to check for email whether email is valid or not. For message I'm going to use the same message I used in previous one. So please provide a valid email, and I'm going to use a method called dot is email. Okay, next thing I need to check for the password. So just copy the same line in next line. So just change email to the password, and for this I'm going to just write the message please password is required. It should be required. And for method I'm going to use is for exist, it will look on whether password exists or not. So that's all for the login. And then I need to use our request response. So here I'm going to use async. Inside the parameter I'm going to use a request response, and it should be an arrow function. Now as I do in previous video, first of all I need to check for the errors. So I'm going to use a variable const errors is equal to validation result. Inside it I'm going to pass request as a parameter. So now I have to check whether errors is empty or not. If it's not empty, then we have error. So just use if not errors dot is empty, then I'm going to just use let AR is equal to errors dot array. As I do same thing in previous video, and for send the response, like where I got the error, I'll use the same format. Like I'll send JSON format for message, and in message we had like which type of error we have. So simply I'm going to use rest.status, and for status I'm going to send for 400, and .json. Inside JSON I'm going to use message for key, and as value I'm going to use array into 0 at first index dot message. Okay, now save this. Now the next thing, if we do not get any error, so I'm going to use some destructure. So const email comma password. I got this thing from our body of our request, so I'm going to use equal to request.body. Then I'm going to use a try catch block here. Like if I got some error, so I'm going to use catch block here. It will simply caught the error and will able to send the response as well. Like in catch block I used to send the message like server error, and for status I'm sending the 500. So .json, and inside message I'm just write server error. Okay, that's fine. Also I need to put error inside console as well, so that I'm able to see like what actually went wrong. So I'm going to use console.log e.message. Now let's move to our try block. So basically we need to check like whether user exists in database or not. Like if user exists in database, so that he can log in. Otherwise we need to provide some message in response. So let's do that. Let user equal to await, and user dot find one, and inside it I'm going to just filter the user based on email, as we are using unique email for every user. So similarly I'm going to here using use regex here as well, as I do in previous video. Like that will look on the ignore case, like whether you can type email in lowercase or you can type in uppercase. If both have like same character, then it will check accordingly user inside the database. Now like if we haven't find any user, if there is not user, then we need to return a response, and here I'm going to use rest.status, and inside status I'm going to use 400 and .json, as I'm using the same format for sending response inside error. Inside the message I'm going to just pass invalid credentials. Save this. Now the final step, like if user validate, if user exists, then we need to match the password. For this, like I need to first take a password from the request and match it with our encrypted password inside database. For this I'm going to use a variable is match is equal to await bcrypt.compare, and inside compare I need to pass the string and our hash as well. So for string, I'm going to use password, and for hash, I'm going to use user.password. That's saved in our database. Next thing, like if the password does not match, then just copy the same thing. If user not found, in place of not user, I just simply paste not is match and do the same thing. Like I'm going to send the same message here, invalid credential. Now if we got a valid user like a password match and email match everything, then we need to return a JSON web token. So here I just write a comment like if valid credential, then return JSON web token, so that he can proceed with the private API. So here I'm going to use jwt.sign, same thing I do in previous video, and inside it I need to just use payload. For let's create payload quickly. So I'm going to use a variable const payload is equal to and there I'm going to use our object, and inside user I'm going to use id and just use its value user.id. Now inside jwt.sign, first parameter I'm going to use payload, and next thing I had to pass the secret here. So for this I'm going to use config.get, and inside it I'm going to pass jwt secret, that key I have in my config file. It should be jwt secret. Okay, let's move this jwt secret. Make sure you spelled it correct, as I'm using camel case here, or just provide the same secret whatever you are using. Next thing, I need to provide its expiry, like after how much time the token will expire. Then after, I'm going to use an arrow function which holds error and token as an parameter, and I'm going to do same thing as previous. Like if there any error occur, I'll throw it, and if there any token, I'll send it as a response. So if error, just throw the error and rest.json, and inside JSON I'm going to pass here token. Hope this will work. Okay, now let me check is everything is correct or not. Now in index.js, just add the route for auth API, or you can say login. So here I'm going to use endpoint /API/auth, and here I'm going to give the path of our file inside require. Just use /routes/API/auth. Save this, and let's try to run it. So I'm going to use node index, hit enter. It will take some time. Stop. Okay, I got some error. It's saying router.use require middleware function but got a slide. Okay, I forgot to export it, so use module.export is equal to router. Okay, now let's try it again. So our server has been started and DB has been connected. Let's move to the Postman and try to hit API. Will it work? Just copy this, and I'm going to open a new tab. Just paste it inside here, and this is a post type request, and also change the endpoint API/auth. Now inside body I need to pass JSON, so I need to use raw, and here I'm going to select JSON. Now inside it I need to pass email and password as an key, so I just copy it from the register user and paste it inside our login API. So just send it. So I got the 200 response, so our request has been successful and I got token. If I paste this token inside jwt.io, just paste it and let's see. There you can see I got the ID of user, and if I match this ID with the user inside our database, there you can see this is the user ID. So that's all for this video.